If you are an American and you're thinking about dating an Italian woman, slow down. Because what looks like one of the most romantic, passionate, and exciting adventures of your life can quickly turn into one of the most overwhelming cultural experiences you'll ever face. Welcome to Cultural Clashes, the channel where we reveal the raw truth about what really happens when love crosses borders. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, leave your comment, and share this video. Because after this story, you'll want to tell us, could you survive dating an Italian woman? At first glance, Italian women are irresistible. They are elegant, stylish, fiery, and confident. Their reputation for beauty and passion makes them some of the most desired partners in the world. For an American man, meeting an Italian woman feels like stepping into a dream. Candlelit dinners, laughter that echoes through cobblestone streets, and fiery conversations over espresso. But beneath this charm lies a culture shaped by tradition, family, religion, and centuries of social expectations that collide head-on with American values of independence, equality, and freedom. Let's imagine a couple. John, a 35-year-old American from Miami, meets Francesca, a 27-year-old Italian woman from Rome. Their first meeting is straight out of a movie. John is captivated by her beauty, her energy, and the way she seems to live life with intensity. Francesca, in turn, is charmed by his American humor, his adventurous spirit, and his relaxed style. At first, every moment feels electric. But soon, the cultural divide begins to reveal itself. The first clash comes from family involvement. In America, relationships are often about two people building something private. In Italy, family is central and ever-present. Francesca's parents expect to meet John quickly, and not just them. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and even family friends all want to be involved. Sunday lunches with the extended family become mandatory. At first, John enjoys the warmth and the food, but soon he feels overwhelmed. He wants weekends alone, private moments, and independence. Francesca, however, insists family is not optional, it is everything. For her, love without family is incomplete. For him, family involvement feels intrusive. Jealousy comes next. Italians are famous for their fiery passion, and with passion comes possessiveness. Francesca expects John to show protectiveness, to get jealous when other men look at her, to demonstrate intensity. For her, jealousy is proof of love. John, however, was raised in a culture where jealousy is seen as insecurity. He remains calm, trusting her. Francesca interprets this as lack of passion. The more relaxed he is, the more she feels unloved. The more she demands intensity, the more he feels suffocated. Gender roles are another battlefield. Francesca expects John to be chivalrous, to take the lead, to pay for dinners, and to show generosity. For her, a man's devotion is proven through action. John, who believes in equality and shared responsibility, suggests splitting bills. Francesca is offended. For her, equality is not about splitting costs, but about mutual respect in roles. What he calls fairness, she calls weakness. What she calls romance, he calls obligation. Religion and tradition add more complexity. While Italy is modern and cosmopolitan, Catholicism and tradition still influence many families. Francesca wants John to respect religious holidays, attend family baptisms, and participate in rituals. John, who is not religious, feels pressured. When he jokes about religion, she feels offended. For her, tradition is sacred. For him, it is optional. His casualness feels disrespectful. Her devotion feels suffocating. Food and lifestyle highlight differences. For Italians, food is sacred. Meals are rituals tied to family and tradition. Francesca criticizes John for rushing through meals, eating on the go, or putting cheese on seafood pasta, something unthinkable in her culture. He laughs it off, but she takes it seriously. For her, food is respect. For him, food is convenience. Small habits turn into arguments. Social life is another arena of conflict. Italians thrive on gatherings, nightlife, and long conversations with friends and family. Francesca expects John to socialize often, to enjoy late dinners, and to be part of the community. At first, he enjoys the energy, but soon he feels exhausted. He wants privacy, quiet nights, and independence. For her, staying home too often feels lifeless. For him, constant outings feel draining. Communication styles become friction points. Italians are expressive, emotional, and direct. Francesca raises her voice in arguments, gestures passionately, and fights with intensity. For her, arguing means caring. John, who prefers calm, rational discussions, feels attacked. His calmness makes her feel ignored. Her fire makes him feel overwhelmed. What she calls passion, he calls chaos. Even daily habits create tension. Francesca is detail-oriented, stylish, and proud of appearances. She criticizes John for dressing too casually, for not ironing his clothes, or for being too relaxed about presentation. John laughs it off, but she takes it personally. For her, appearance is respect. For him, it is comfort. Family expectations about marriage arrive quickly. Francesca's parents want to know his intentions. Long-term dating without commitment is not acceptable. John feels pressured. He believes love should develop naturally, without deadlines. Francesca sees his hesitation as disrespect. For her, love without commitment is meaningless. For him, rushing feels like a trap. Over time, these differences grow heavier. John feels suffocated by Francesca's expectations. Family involvement, jealousy, financial responsibility, traditions, and intensity. Francesca feels neglected by John's independence, his casualness, and his lack of seriousness about her culture. What once felt like attraction now feels like conflict. This is why so many Americans are shocked when dating Italians. At first, the beauty, the passion, the style, and the warmth are irresistible. But soon, they discover that Italian love is not light or casual. It is fiery, demanding, and tied to family, tradition, and passion. Americans see love as freedom and individuality. Italians see love as devotion, loyalty, and intensity. Both perspectives are valid, but together they clash, and this is only the beginning. Because as the relationship deepens, the weight of family, religion, and social expectations only grows stronger. What once felt like romance begins to feel like obligation. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we will explore how these cultural clashes explode when Americans and Italians try to build a long-term future together, and why so many of these romances collapse under the weight of expectation. As John and Francesca's relationship develops, what once felt like magic begins to feel like weight. The passion is still there, but it is now buried under expectations neither of them can escape. John still admires Francesca's beauty, her style, and her fire, but he feels trapped by her demands, her family's involvement, and her culture's traditions. Francesca still cares for John, but she feels constantly disappointed by his casualness, his independence, and his reluctance to adapt to her world. The first point of collapse comes with marriage and family approval. Francesca's parents ask directly about John's intentions. For them, a relationship without a clear path to marriage is shameful. Francesca echoes their concerns, pressuring John for commitment. John resists, arguing that marriage should come naturally, not out of obligation. Francesca sees his hesitation as disrespect. For her, commitment is proof of love. For him, rushing feels like a trap. His refusal makes her doubt his seriousness. Her pressure makes him feel suffocated. Family obligations grow heavier. Francesca expects John to attend every Sunday lunch, to respect her parents, and to prioritize her relatives. When her cousin needs help, she hints that John should contribute. When her family faces difficulties, she expects him to step in. John, who believes relationships should be about two people, feels overwhelmed. He resists. Francesca sees his refusal as selfishness. For her, family is identity. For him, family obligations feel like intrusion. Jealousy and possessiveness escalate. Francesca demands more proof of devotion. She wants John to cut off female friends, to show protectiveness, and to be vocal about his passion. John insists that trust should be enough. Francesca sees his calmness as indifference. He sees her demands as control. Their fights grow more frequent, each accusing the other of not loving enough. Religion and tradition add more pressure. Francesca expects John to attend religious ceremonies, respect Catholic holidays, and participate in family baptisms and weddings. John, who is secular, attends reluctantly at first, but eventually resists. Francesca feels embarrassed in front of her family. For her, religion is culture. For him, religion is optional. His refusal feels like disrespect. Her insistence feels like control. Food and lifestyle become points of tension. Francesca criticizes John for rushing meals, eating fast food, or ignoring dining rituals. For her, food is sacred, tied to family and tradition. For him, food is fuel. What she calls respect, he calls rigidity. What he calls freedom, she calls ignorance. Even small things, like his habit of drinking cappuccino after dinner, spark arguments. Communication styles deepen the divide. Francesca argues passionately, raising her voice and gesturing intensely. For her, fighting means caring. John, who prefers calm, rational discussions, feels attacked. His silence makes her feel ignored. Her fire makes him feel overwhelmed. Arguments that could be resolved in minutes drag on for hours. Social life drains him. Francesca expects John to attend late dinners, long nights out, and endless family gatherings. For her, community is life. For him, it is obligation. He wants privacy, quiet nights, and independence. She sees his reluctance as rejection. He sees her insistence as suffocation. Even daily habits clash. Francesca criticizes John's casual clothes, his lack of attention to grooming, and his relaxed attitude toward appearances. John laughs it off, but she feels embarrassed. For her, style is respect. For him, comfort is priority. What she calls care, he calls vanity. As months turn into years, the weight of these cultural differences becomes unbearable. John feels suffocated by Francesca's expectations, family obligations, jealousy, financial responsibility, and traditions. Francesca feels unloved by John's independence, his casualness, and his refusal to embrace her culture fully. What once felt like attraction now feels like conflict. This is the reality many Americans face when dating Italians. At first, the passion, the beauty, and the charm are irresistible. But soon they discover that Italian love is not casual. It is tied to family, tradition, and intensity. Americans see love as freedom and individuality. Italians see love as devotion and responsibility. Both perspectives are valid. But together they clash. Does this mean it's impossible? Not always. Some couples succeed. Some Americans adapt, embracing Italian traditions, family life, and passion. Some Italians compromise, accepting independence and freedom. But these cases are rare. Most relationships collapse not because of lack of love, but because love alone cannot overcome centuries of cultural expectation. So, should Americans date Italians? Only if they are ready to trade independence for family obligations, calmness for intensity, and privacy for community. Only if they are prepared to live inside a culture where love is fire, family, and tradition above all else. Because dating an Italian woman is not just romance. It is stepping into a world where love is passion, loyalty, and family honor. Unless you are ready to carry that weight, maybe you should think twice before stepping into it. So, what do you think? Would you survive dating an Italian? Or would the jealousy, the family pressure, and the fiery passion burn you out before love could last? Share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to Cultural Clashes, and spread this story. Because when cultures collide, love is never simple. It is always a battlefield between worlds.